We're back. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Feel good about it?
How deep we want to get into it? Because I could really get into it.
Get deep. No pressure.
No,
Now I'm
no, no
nervous. Why
pressure,
am I
John.
nervous?
We're not rolling right now.
He's rolling.
Are we?
You are listening to Digging In Podcast, presented by Rooted Wealth Advisors.
Welcome back to another new episode on the Digging In Podcast. We have our special guest, Alexa. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Excited to be back?
I'm so excited to be back.
Love that.
It's almost like I never left.
Exactly. Well, it was great to get to know you last time that we had a chance to speak. Today, we want to peel a few layers back more on kind of your role in terms of planning, right? And how that translates to, you know, whether it's our views, our perspective on money, maybe it's the views, you know, of our clients as we kind of help them plan for retirement. So we really want to peel those layers back today. And as always, going to ask you a few questions. Does that sound fair?
Okay, that sounds fair.
Cool. So my first question for you, and this could be from a personal perspective or once again from a client's perspective, what does financial freedom, what does that mean to you? What does that look like?
I would say slightly personal, not too personal. For me, it looks like just not having to worry about money, about bills, about any sort of that. I grew up in a household that money was pretty tight and sometimes money was a worry. So for me, it's just, if I want to do something, I can do it and I'm not going to feel the strain or the worry or the pressure of the repercussions of it.
Jason, if I remember correctly, Jason said financial freedom is going to the grocery store and not worrying about what the cost is.
Yeah,
That was a good perspective. You know what I mean?
think that's a good way to put it, I think.
Yeah. So I think oftentimes when we have clients or prospects that come through, you know, a lot of them have done a really great job of saving, right? And it's ultimately on us, or they're coming to us to say, hey, like I've gotten to this point where I want to do things more efficiently, or like, hey, I've saved, but now I have to put it to work. My whole point is, you know, they, you know, are very fortunate. And a lot of that's because of their hard work, don't get me wrong. But for the flip side, why do you feel that there are some people when they reach retirement or they're getting close to retirement, they feel stuck? They feel like they can't retire.
I think sometimes people maybe have like overestimated how much they are able to spend when they're younger. And so then they kind of maybe don't end up having as much.
Yeah.
But I think it is kind of a mental shift of, okay, in retirement, are you also going to live, like what kind of lifestyle do you want to live in retirement? And I think that's a big factor in that mental roadblock is you kind of need to get over that hump.
Okay.
And then we can kind of work around that to help you plan.
Okay. So do you think, you had mentioned kind of like overestimating when someone gets to retirement, do you think more often than not people know how much they want to spend or they don't know how much they want to spend?
I think people like to ballpark it a little bit, but I think in retirement, people like to travel. They like to do more things. And so sometimes I feel maybe it should be a little higher than people estimate or than people tell us, because I mean, it's expensive to travel and it's expensive to do things. But when you're retired and you have this time, obviously you want to utilize it to the best of your ability. And
Right.
a lot of times that requires more money. And if you don't have that extra income coming in from a job, you got to kind of shuffle some pieces a little bit.
She's politely saying that most people underestimate.
Yes, politely saying that.
And that's what we're here for,
Yeah.
right? Is to help put things into perspective, right? In terms of, you know, I always just use the phrase plan for the, or hope for the best, plan for the worst. So then how does planning help, like what is the importance of planning when it comes to retirement? Super general question.
Yes, I would say for me, I look at it from the perspective of it's kind of like a puzzle. And whether clients have money all with us or they've got money in different positions, it's kind of taking all of that and what can we do to best make it work for what essentially their retirement goals are.
Okay.
Is kind of how I view it. Where are they and where do they want to be? And how do we need to cut and shape the puzzle to fit it together to help them get there?
And then so what you're saying is like ultimately like this is, I put this 1,000-piece puzzle together of someone's retirements, and that's how they quote unquote can retire or able to retire. Is that right?
That's kind of my goal. When I go into working on the
Okay.
plans, I'm like, here's what they had given their advisor as their financial goals. Here's
Yeah.
kind of what we're looking at. How can I help them get there? What
Okay.
can we suggest to help them get there?
To get there, and then ultimately we want to maximize it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like we don't want to just do the bare minimum to get there. I think a good way to frame that is like, hey, here's how you can get there and just do what you want to do. But what you don't know is here's what you can also do that
Right.
makes more possible. Right.
Right.
I think that's probably one of the funnest things about the job
Right.
is like, hey, to do the bare minimum and retire, like here's what you should do. But what you probably didn't realize coming in here is like, if we can just make a few tweaks at the dial, a lot more is possible.
Right.
I think that's pretty powerful for a lot of people. So you'd already kind of mentioned about kind of what financial freedom like is to you. Is there a component of that creates more options in life? Do you feel that more money just allows you to travel more, to do more, or do you feel that it just kind of helps you feel safer?
In order to travel, in order to do things I want to do, I do need money to do so. But I feel like for me, it does just kind of feel like a little bit more of a safety net.
Okay.
If I don't have to worry about it. Because obviously there's expenses that comes with travel that you can plan those things out. But for me, just having that nice kind of cushion safety net in there.
I like that.
Yeah.
So, I guess another question then kind of a follow-up to that is how does being intentional with planning, right? And this could be whether I'm 21 years old, just getting started, 40, got a young family, or I'm 60, just retiring. So how does this type of intentional planning reduce fear, right, around money?
I would say a big part of that, I mean, first off, when we're kind of looking at these plans and working with these clients, it kind of all starts with building that kind of trust and confidence with it.
Ooh, I like
And
that.
then I think when you get to that point of kind of knowing who's behind it, for me, I want to protect their money like they want to protect their money. So I think knowing who you're working with and knowing they're taking that time and intentionality to put the time into your plans and like they want you to succeed just like you want them to succeed with your money, I think is a big component of all of that.
I've had a handful of instances where it's the first time I'm ever meeting with someone, and oftentimes they feel like they're about to get sold, right? And whether that's because they had a bad experience with an advisor or a person in the past, but their guard's up, I guess would be the best way. And really, my intention is just to get to know them at first. Like, I really don't want to know anything about their money situation until I know them as a person, an individual first. And they're just like, their guard goes up even higher. Like, why is this person asking me these really personal questions? And the reality is, I have to know you as an individual before I know how to protect your money, right? Or how to grow your wealth. Because I won't be able to do it to the best of my ability, Rooted's ability, without knowing you first. And like that just throws people off, and it might feel a little cheeky to some, but it's so genuine. So that just kind of made me reflect on that a little bit. So great answer. Wow. Last question. What does Alexa's retirement look like?
Oh, retirement for me, I've kind of always pondered what I would do.
Okay.
I love Illinois. Do I see Illinois as like my retirement goal? Probably not.
No kidding. You'll love the wind and snow and high taxes.
No. Ideally, I have two places that I've kind of always considered. The one would be Northern California. I have a lot of family that's out there.
Whoa, okay.
So they might be long gone by the time I retire, but I've grown up traveling to that area and I love that area. And so if
Okay.
I could kind
Northern
of
Cali.
get my piece of land there where they kind of are. I mean, it's beautiful out there. I don't,
Okay.
if you've never been out in like the Napa area,
Never have.
it's gorgeous out that way. So
Okay.
that's kind of the more expensive plan of the two that I've thought of, because it's not
No kidding.
it's not cheap to live there. Ideally though, Tennessee
Okay.
would love to have some land. Nice big white house, the wraparound porch. All
That
the
sounds more like the
grandkids-
middle,
I know, all the
middle-aged dream.
grandkids running
Okay.
in the yard, and
Okay.
just a place that having a place that all of my family could come and just be who we are and be together and live happily. That sounds like a happily ever after, but like my ideal retirement is just being able to love on my family and love on people and love on myself.
You want to be in a location that, your family wants to go to, right? Like you don't want to be, in northern Minnesota in the middle of December because no one gonna want to come see
No.
you for Christmas, right? Like
Yeah,
you want to. So I get that. Sounds very family oriented.
I am. I'm
Okay.
a big family person.
Okay.
So that's always kind of a big priority in my head, just how I was raised, and I wouldn't be where I am or who I am without them. So
I like that.
they're important to me.
One other question, top of mind, just thinking about this when we talk about financial freedom and just kind of retirement in general. Do you think that more or less people can retire even if they don't think they can? Right? So as an example, I'm coming to you and I say, like Alexa, I had to work another 5 years. In reality, do people need to work more or do they need to work less?
I feel like if you don't have a ton of knowledge about wealth management or financial growth, then people probably think they need to work longer
Yep.
than they actually do. I think it really just depends on your full frame of mind regarding all of that. Do you know where your money's at? Do you know where it's coming from? Do you know how it's growing? And I think if people really sat down and knew all the pieces of the puzzle, then I think they would be able to retire sooner than they think they can. But if you're not super knowledgeable about all of that, then I think they're going to just think they need to keep working.
That was another great answer. Oh, that was
That's
great.
a long answer.
That was
sorry,
good. No,
I
that blew my
tangent.
expectations. I think I was on the same page, but you said it in a much more eloquent manner than what I was thinking in my head. But I do think that. So I just was on CI Living on WCIA down in Champaign, and one of the questions was like, do you feel that people are more or less confident about their money? And I told her, the answer that I gave her was, what I find is that whether someone has $100,000 or someone has $2 million or more, the person that, or the family that is aware of it, they look at it and they're on top of it. They're not obsessing over it, but they just have control over it. Those are the ones that are feeling more confident about their situation. It's rarely about how much money someone has. It's about how they feel about control. And the ones that pay attention to it are the ones that feel more in control.
Mhm.
So, but you said it a lot
Exactly.
better. Once again, appreciate you so much for taking the time, answer some of the questions, dig in a little bit on just retirement freedom, what that means, and answering some tough questions.
Yes. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here
Always
for.
the tough
Thank
questions.
you. I know.
Appreciate it, Alexa. I'm sure we'll talk soon. And for everyone that's watching or listening, we will dig in soon.
This was Digging In Podcast, presented by Rooted Wealth Advisors.